Hello, people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is MB Kiernan, but you can call me Maria. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who has come over here recently and subscribed to the channel. We have surpassed 100 subscribers. That is a milestone. That is amazing. I promised a studio tour once we hit 100 subs. That is coming soon. I actually haven't had a chance to film it yet, and I'm also waiting for the weather to be a little bit more consistently nice. It's been raining a lot recently because I want to film the outside of the studio as well as the inside. Also, I have rearranged the space several times. I literally just rearranged it last week, so it is very different from when it was back when we hit 100 subscribers. But thank you so much for being here. You guys are amazing. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about in this video. The main thing being that I have unfortunately had to close my little art business, which is very sad. I also want to talk about my plans for the rest of 2023 and also, of course, this piece that we're working on right now. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more arty-farty stuff. So about my business closing down. So if you didn't know, back in 2019, I went self-employed as a full-time artist. And that was wholly based on the feedback that I was getting around. I got a lot of encouragement. There was a lot of people telling me I should go full-time because I'm so good and blah, blah, blah. So I did. And it was going okay until the dreaded year of 2020 happened. And I don't think I need to go into detail there. I think we all know what happened. It was a struggle of a year. I noticed that there was a drastic drop in interest for my work. I got no work during that year. I got very few customers. I got very few clients for commissions. Even when the restrictions were lifted, it was not the same. There was still a general lack of interest in my work. I had a few commissions. I had a few customers, but not as many as I would have liked. Not as many to keep me going. So just last September 2022, I ended up having to take a part-time job for financial reasons. And of course, that meant that I had less time during the week to do art. So with this part-time job, what it meant was I had to now reschedule myself around this new job. What ended up happening was, in short, I overworked myself. I was getting up obscenely early in the morning, going out to my studio, doing work, doing art, going off to the part-time job in the afternoon because I worked afternoons, and then coming back in the evening, going back out to my studio and doing more work, more art. And this was not a sustainable way to work. What ended up happening was I fell ill at the end of October, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I ended up having a lot of serious art block and burnout, and it was not a pleasant time. Now, before this happened, I had tried to open for commissions. Big mistake. Big mistake. I had no time to work on commissions. So I did end up closing early at the end of October while I was sick. Now, early into November, I went away for a weekend break in Edinburgh, which was very exciting for me. It was the first time I was outside Ireland, first time I left the country, and first time on a plane. It was very exciting. I loved Edinburgh. It was absolutely fantastic. I thought that I was going to come back from that trip very inspired, very motivated to do art. But unfortunately, that was not the case. I had developed this fear of my sketchbook, a fear of picking up a pencil. I could not do art. I spent the whole of November struggling with a commission that I had got at the start of October, and I struggled. I struggled so much with it, and that was the only art that I was doing, because I was forcing myself to do it, and I was just struggling to get out of this art block. And then when December came around, I was invited to partake in a Christmas market in my local area. And that ended up being a very successful market. But on the run up to that, once again, I was getting up very early in the morning to go out to my studio and make art prints, bookmarks, what have yous. And as I said, it ended up being a very successful market for me. I sold a lot of stuff. It was great. I loved it. It was the best market that I've ever been to. Unfortunately, it didn't motivate me like I thought it would. I was still stuck in that rut. I was still stuck in art block. I was still very fatigued and burnt out. And also, cherry on the top, one successful market in a year is not enough to sustain a business, never mind save it. So after that market, I decided to take a break. I took some time out just to work on myself and just, ease back into it, just to let things come back to me by itself. And it came back quicker than I thought it would. So by the time 2023 came around again, I was drawing. I was drawing again in my sketchbook, and I actually completed a painting in January, which I was supposed to film and then forgot to press record on my camera. Which is typical. But anyway, in 2023, I tried again to reschedule myself so that, I could get things done efficiently, sorry. So I had certain days for certain tasks, certain times to do things. I stayed away from commissions. I made that very definite decision because I knew I just didn't have time and I did not want to be stressing myself out. What I did do, and it was another big mistake, was I decided to update my monthly membership tiers on Ko-fi. Now, I had one tier going. It was a €5 tier. I decided to add 2 lower tiers. I did this in a hope that I would get some new members on board and start generating a little bit more of an income through Ko-fi. I didn't get any new members, which was a shame. Now, I was so grateful for the very few members that I had there, and I had so much love for them. And I just felt really bad because I still had no time to create rewards. And the reason I had no time to create rewards is because even though I had this schedule done out where I had certain days for certain tasks, what ended up happening was I was doing little bits and pieces of things during a week. And what seems to happen with me is if I don't get something done within a certain amount of time, I lose interest in it. So I ended up not making art. So I had no new content. I made a sticker pack. That was as much as I was able to make for the membership rewards because I was feeling like I was falling behind on everything. And I even fell behind on those sticker packs, and they were very simple designs. It took me ages to do. So I had no time for rewards. I had no time to make new products, even though I was trying to find a way to be able to make new products. I just found on certain days I felt like doing something else and I'd get it done, and then I wouldn't have something else done, which was really bad. But anyway, for my shop, I had no time to make new products. I had nothing to promote on social media. I had no time to give to social media like I should have been giving, because social media, as we all know, is very demanding. So at the end of the day, I just had to face facts. The business was putting a lot of stress on me and it was not giving me anything back. So I had to make the very difficult and heartbreaking decision to close down my business. Now, I cried a lot. I really did. I felt like a failure, and I have done so on many occasions in my life, but I really felt like a failure at this point, so I did cry for a couple of days. However, I no longer have to feel like a failure in terms of business anyway, so that's a little bit of a weight off my shoulders. So my business is going to be officially closed this week. I am no longer going to be taking commissions. I don't know when I'm ever going to have the confidence to do that again. When I'm ever going to have the time. I'm no longer taking commissions. I'm no longer open for Ko-fi memberships. I've got rid of them altogether. I sent a message out to the members that I had telling them they can cancel their memberships because I feel really bad not being able to give back to them. Also, my shop is going to be closing on the 14th of April, which is actually the day after this video comes out. So, hurry up, guys. If you want to buy some art from my shop, there is a link in the description of this video. If you click on it, it will automatically apply a 50% discount to everything on my Ko-fi shop. So hop over there, grab a bargain, and give my business a little bit of a send-off. So I am hopeful that I can get back to self-employment sometime in the future. I don't know when. But for now, it's going to be goodbye to my little art business. You will be missed very dearly. So now that I no longer have to look after a business, but I do want to get back into it, what do I do now? That's the question that I started to ask myself after I was finished crying that I had to close. I started to look at it a bit more positively and look at it as a chance to reinvent myself, if you will. Maybe do a bit of rebranding to start afresh. As they say, when one door closes, another opens. I just had to find the door that I wanted to take. So we're going to be trying things. What I'm going to be mostly doing is focusing on art for myself and for anyone who is interested. So I will be posting on social media. I am not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. I'll probably be actually more present on social media now than I ever have been since I started my business, which seems a bit counterproductive. But anyway, well, counterproductive in terms of my business. You know, I should have been more present on social media, but I just didn't have time. Anyway, I want to grow a presence more on my social media, and also here on YouTube, I want to grow a community. I want to engage more with you guys. I want to hear from you more. I'm also going to be getting back to live streams real soon, and I had been doing live streams on Twitch. It wasn't really working for me. I find that it's a bit difficult of a place for artists there. There's a lot more of an emphasis on gaming. So I want to try YouTube for live streaming. And that might help me build a community a bit more, so you guys get to watch me live and chat with me live and stuff like that. So that'll be awesome. Now, I mentioned rebranding. Now this is not going to be on a business level because my business is closed, obviously. This is just going to be less formal. It's going to be more social media based. So here on YouTube and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm not going to say what it is yet. What the rebrand is. I will give a hint. It's got to do with naming my studio. So ever since I established this studio, I really wanted a name for it. And recently, myself and my brother spent an evening brainstorming. He came up with a name, and I give full credit to him for the name. He came up with it, and it was fantastic. It's a bit of an inside joke, which is why this whole rebranding is just going to be a bit of fun. Now, I will reveal it sometimes when I'm ready. When I'm ready to do the rebrand. I will talk about it more then, and I will let you in on the joke. But it's really going to be something for me to build off when it comes to social media. Something to build off for myself as well. As I said, a way to reinvent myself. I think I was doing things a little bit too formal, and that's why I wasn't very present anywhere. I think I really took the personality out of everything, and I want to bring that back to my art, to my social media. So this is going to be a new era for my art journey, without the business, unfortunately. But hopefully we can make that business work in the future. You know, we'll let it happen. We won't force it. We'll see how things go. So right now it's just going to be my art and building my community here on YouTube and on my other social media. So speaking of my art, finally we're getting around to the piece that we are seeing on screen right now. This is concept art for an original character from a news story that I'm working on. When I say news story, it is actually a combination of two stories that were really going nowhere by themselves. So I decided to just smush them together. I'm a little bit notorious for creating new characters and new stories, so I said I'd recycle some. Yeah. So this is Silas. He is a magic boy, as you might be able to tell. He is not the main character of the story, but he is one of the primary characters, so he is important. So, as I said, this is a combination of two stories. He existed in one of those stories. His name was Silas in that story, and a lot of his style, like his clothing, came from that original character design. The design for which I will put up here. There were a few changes, as you might be able to tell. First of all, my art style has improved significantly. And also, I got rid of that twirly mustache because I have no regrets about getting rid of the twirly mustache. I like twirly mustaches, they have their place, but it was not here. Also, his designs have a few elements from another character. He was a rejected character from a different story, completely different story. I just got rid of him from that story. I didn't want him there anymore. And also, he was partly based, you know, his hair actually was based on a rejected design from another character in that pirate story that I was working on a while back as well. So he has a few things going on there. Now, this particular artwork, I actually did a couple of weeks back, but I had the footage recorded, I didn't have time to edit it, and I wanted to put up the post at the same time that the video would be going out, so I held on to it. So this is really an early concept, and at the time I was trying to grasp who he is and what his role is in the story. He looks very shifty and suspicious, and he doesn't really have that vibe anymore. Like, he is a kind of a, ooh, can I trust him? There's something going on with him, but he doesn't look as dodgy. He kind of looks a bit dodgy in this, but I did put up a more recent design for him on Instagram and Facebook, and on Instagram it seemed to have got a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people seem to like him, which makes me happy because I really like him. I like his design. I think he's super cute as a character. In here, as I said, he looks a bit shifty. I've also changed that cigarette out for a pipe because I liked the aesthetic of the pipe better. Don't smoke, kids. It's just, this is all for the aesthetic. Don't smoke for the aesthetic. It's not good. Anyway, as usual with my digital illustrations, this was done in Krita. Now, as I said, he is not the main character of the story, but you will be meeting the main character soon. She is going to be featured in next week's video. Now, if you do want a voiceover for that, please leave a comment in the description below, and I'll see if I can get around to recording a voiceover, and I can introduce you to the main character and maybe say a little bit about her story. So that is it from me. It is the end of an era. My business is closed. Sad times, but hopefully things will get better. Hopefully we can make things work in the future. But for now, it's going to be a little less formal around here. I'm going to be focusing on myself and my art and building my community online. We're going to have a bit of fun. As I said, we have a rebrand coming. You're going to see a lot more of the art from this new story. And also, I'm hoping to create more, like, different content than just speed draws all the time. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for those live streams. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and leave a little comment down below. It all helps the channel out, and I really would love to hear from you guys. So that is it from me. Stay creative, my people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!